Today I'm going to reveal to you the secret to exploiting retention with the power of email marketing. First off, my name is Michael. I'm the co-founder of No Limit Email. We're an email marketing agency. We make millions of dollars for brands every month through the power of email. All right, let's get right down to it.
Hey Bosco, so over the past 3-4 months, we have been looking at a lot more data across all our brands, all our clients in terms of like increasing LTV. There are some things, we can do to increase LTV. Obviously a subscription program definitely works to help increase LTV. We've tracked this across many cohorts, and same thing with membership programs. But what we found to be the biggest needle mover is this, and I'll show you why. So an inescapable truth when it comes to all e-commerce brands, that 70 to 75% of new customers do not repeat purchase. So we have the new customer acquisition. So people converting to customers, people signing up to your email list and becoming customers. And then that is going to determine your business's maximum retention potential and then actual repeat customers. So here's an example, and you'll probably find very much the same in yours. So I've taken 3 examples. One is from an apparel brand. So all different niches, all different sizes. Apparel brand, with what is this? Nearly 20,000 customers. Out of all the first time buyers, only 71% have only purchased once. So 71% of the list has not gone on to make a second purchase. And we see this across all accounts. So this is a skincare brand, much bigger brand. What's that like? Nearly 200,000 customers. 73% have only purchased once. And then this is once again another brand that's even bigger, 250 customers. There's an audio speaker brand like headphones and things like that. And 75% of people have only purchased once. So we see this across all industries, and you'll likely see it yourself if you create this segment. F1, so people who've only ordered once, and then F2, people who have placed an order at least twice. So repeat purchases. And so what does that tell us? Obviously it tells us that we can't influence a second purchase as much as we think we can. People come back and buy again, obviously because of their expectations, perceived value in the product, the use of the product, experience with the product, and also of course the need for that product again, and the timing for that need, which we can't influence, right? The product really influences this. And if somebody receives your product and it doesn't meet their expectations and they're not happy with it, then they're not going to come back and buy again. It doesn't matter how many loyalty programs we create, if there's a subscription program, if we send them more emails or product recommendations, they're just not going to come back and buy again. And that's the reality of it. So the other very, very important thing for you to understand is, and what we've been doing a lot is, figuring out, well, once someone goes through the welcome flow and they start getting campaigns, where does the campaign revenue actually come from? Campaign revenue, 80 to 90% of campaign revenue will come from people who have already purchased and experienced your product. So here's an example here. And we see this once again across all accounts. If you segment it like this, or if you just go to a campaign that was sent to everybody, you'll notice that 80 to 90% of the purchases come from people who have bought while they were in the welcome flow. So everything in red is sent to people who have previously purchased. Everything without the red box is people who have never purchased before. So this same campaign, if it was sent to previous purchases, 16 people bought again. If it was sent to people who've never purchased before, 0. Same thing here, a Valentine's promo. And this is even like with a promo, 54 people who have purchased before have come back to buy again, and only 3 people who have never bought have purchased. And this is the promo, and you can see 24, 5, 43, and 2. So it's quite night and day that only people who have purchased from you before are going to come back and purchase. And the people who've never purchased, there's a very, very low chance that they will actually end up purchasing if they did not purchase in the welcome flow. The only thing that helps them get across the line is typically if you do some sort of big promotion where they can finally say, okay, there's the value for money there. So a lot of the email marketing is just reminding current customers that you exist. Now, once again, how can we help improve the potential of this? Well, we do that using our biggest lever. So what we need to increase is the new customer acquisition. right? And that happens in the welcome flow. And we have data and statistics to prove that this is the biggest lever, and where most of this happens is within the welcome flow. So new customers, after they sign up, if we can increase this, we then increase the size of this, your business's maximum retention potential, because the more product that we get into hands, more prospects that we can turn into customers in the welcome flow means that we have a lot more people here, which increases the opportunity pool of repeat purchases, right? So obviously we cannot get a second purchase if we don't get the first purchase. So what we want to do is maximize as many first purchases as we can so we can get more second purchases. Primary goal currently of like email marketing retention teams is that we get products in hands. Once somebody can actually experience your product, then they're going to make a future purchase. If we can't get it, get them to become a first time buyer, there are no future purchases, obviously. So how do we know the welcome flow is the best opportunity to do this? Well, we've been following the time to purchase of everybody from the time they sign up to the pop-up form to when they convert after signing up. 90% of people will convert after they sign up within the first 48 hours. Here's a brand that one of the brands we've been tracking with. They're more on the extreme side. But as you can see, a lot of orders happening here. They're split up depending on the zero-party data they gave us in the pop-up form. And as you can see, median time to purchase is very, very quick. 13 minutes, 23 minutes. The longest is 1.1 hours. So as you can see, people convert very, very quickly. 90% of people convert will do so in 48 hours. So with the welcome flow, we have to maximize products in hand. So maximize the conversions in the welcome flow as much as we can so that we can then maximize repeat purchases. So we basically have 3 to 4 emails that we can send within 48 hours. We've seen a 10% increase in conversion rate from doing this. And here's some more tracking that we have for time to purchase by percentile. So as you can see, 90% actually for this particular brand within 24 hours. And then that was 90%, and then 95% within 6 days. So if somebody is going to convert, they're going to do it very quickly. If you don't influence them or persuade them that you're the right choice and that they should buy your product within that time frame, chances are they just never come back and buy your product. They completely drop off, or they've gone to a competitor and bought from a competitor. So of course, the question now becomes, how do we get more product into customers' hands? How do we improve these retention rates? So we'll talk about how to get more product into customers' hands for this video. So what we're doing is we are collecting and using zero-party data for brands. This is the main thing we're focusing on right now to increase the first-time buyer segment, which then increases the number of second-time, third-time buyers. So what we do in the pop-up is we ask them what's the biggest goal, like for this brand specifically, get rid of fine lines, firmer, smoother skin, brighter skin, or no more blemishes, right? So depending on what they choose, they will get put into a different welcome flow. And that welcome flow will have copywriting, product recommendations, images, and social proof, talking specifically about the issue that they have, the goal that they have, the interest that they have. And also what happens after this is we actually ask them another question. It's like, what matters to you most when you buy a skincare product? Is it speed to results? Is it like a scientifically backed clinical trials? Is it that it's clean, green ingredients that are vegan, right? Natural ingredients. Once again, we use that data to then persuade them more in the welcome flow. And so what sort of results do we see from this? So previously, without collecting the data, this brand had, as you can see here, 72% open rate, 9.9% click rate, and an 8.3% placed order rate, so conversion rate. Once we started personalizing everything, you can see here, open rate stays the same pretty much, of course, but the click rate has now increased by 179%. So we have far more people clicking. So it went from 9.9 to 27.6. And same thing with placed order rate. So the people converting also is now at 17.2. So that's a 106% increase over 8.3. So now we have far more people clicking and converting. So we're getting more first-time buyers, right? So now we have far more first-time buyers, new customers, So now the maximum retention potential is much bigger, and we actually have far more repeat customers coming through the funnel and providing you revenue also through your campaigns. So that's what we're working on. I don't have a picture here in terms of what does sign up rate look like if you ask no questions versus if you ask 2, 3 to 5 questions. But we have A/B split tested this, and I can show you it's negligible drop off. So for this brand, without questions, I think sign up rate was 15.9%. And then without questions, it was like 15.5%. So minor drop off, but on the back of that, you have 10 times more conversions, which then means you have far more repeat buyers coming through the funnel and, building your revenue. So yeah, that's kind of what we've been working on a lot in the past 4 to 5 months, and following up on the data and doing tests and case studies. And this is what we're seeing as the biggest lever when it comes to retention.